What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Paige the Page, and this is my Not Safe for Workathon recommendations round 3. I'll leave a link above to my Not Safe for Workathon recommendations round 2, which was last week, and that has a link to the week before, so if you want to check those out, feel free. I will also leave a link to the VEDA playlist in the description box. If you haven't been here the past 2 weeks, essentially what I'm doing is Not Safe for Workathon is a readathon I created, and it is running for the entire month of September, which I forgot to mention in the first video. Fuck my life, that's fine. So my lovely co-host and I are running this for the entire month, and I thought I would give some recommendations for books that I have read that fill these prompts, and then one recommendation that I haven't actually read but I'm interested in. Although one of these I wouldn't recommend it, but I'm doing it for myself. So my lovely co-hosts are Cara from Biancareads, KJ from Bookish KJ, Whit from Whit and Wisdom, and Caitlyn from Mad Cheshire Rabbit. I'm so excited! The final lot of prompts. Here we go. The first prompt is handcuffs. Read a freeing book or with a key on the cover. So this is intentionally vague. It was very hard, one, to find books that had or have an edition with handcuffs on the cover. It is not a common thing. I thought it was, apparently not. I haven't deep dived into like Kindle Unlimited or something like that. But for me, I want to talk through 2 books that are freeing for me. So the first that I have read is Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. So this is freeing because it takes me out of this world. It removes me from all that's going on in my day-to-day and is such a beautiful, hopeful book, as well as an adventure, wonderful characters, and so it frees me up from just my day-to-day slump and negativity. So that's why I would constitute this as a freeing book. So anything that you use to escape, that is freeing you from whatever seems to be troubling you, whatever you need to escape. The other one is very similar, Geekerella by Ashley Poston. Again, cute, fluffy contemporary that just takes me out of my brain and frees me up to appreciate the good things in life again. This gets me laughing, it gets me smiling, and it just frees up all those positive emotions to come to the front again when feeling a bit slumpish, or even when I just want to be happy, even if I'm just feeling good anyway. Let's add to it. So yeah, this definitely frees up a lot of those positive emotions and makes me really, really happy, and just it feels really, really lightening and freeing in that sense. Now my recommendation that I won't actually recommend, but I'm doing it because I need to hold myself accountable for it, and I don't think I'm gonna do it to myself in September, but I'm gonna mention it here. That is 50 Shades Free by E.L. James. I read the second one earlier this year. It was a very unpleasant experience. This is the last one that I have to read, and I'm free of the series. It's also got free in the title. You can also, like, if it has free in the title, like, fucking go for it. Not gonna dwell on this because I don't actually recommend this. It's fucking toxic. Yeah. The next is Pet Play. My first recommendation is Animal Farm by George Orwell. Technically this doesn't have an animal on the cover, but it has the word animal on the cover, so that counts as an animal on the cover. Also, I have another edition that has an animal on the cover, I just couldn't find it. So this is what we're going with. Again, if it has animal in the title, technically that's on the cover. See what I mean about Not Safe for Workathon prompts being very fucking vague? It's for a reason. But that's my first one. And then going into the dark and little bit fucked up area would be Alice by Christina Henry. So this is the first in the Alice series by her. Got a rabbit on the front cover. This rabbit is fucking psychotic and absolutely scares the shit out of me. This whole book is not safe for work. Content warnings for attempted rape, murder, child prostitution, off-page rape and cannibalism, body mutilation. There's a whole slew of shit that just goes down in this book, so yeah, good times. And then the recommendation that I have not read yet, and really fucking want to, and I don't know why I haven't, is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. Thinking about this is probably not the best time to be recommending this book and or reading it because it's set after a pandemic, but that's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Has a deer on the cover, that's why I went for it. I could see it on the spine, and yeah, has an animal on the cover. Next is Domme, and that is a strong protagonist. So originally when we were thinking we were gonna have it as a strong female protagonist, and then I was thinking on it, I was like, I don't want to be exclusionary to anyone. Like, strong protagonists and doms don't have to be female. Like, I appreciate us wanting to push strong female characters, but then I was thinking on it, like literally when I filmed the announcement video, I was like, what about non-binary characters as strong protagonists? So that's my recommendations that I have here for you. The first that I have read is Pet by Akwiki Emezi. This is following Jam, who when they were a child, they were talking about their gender and they've gone girl, 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 even though they were assigned male at birth. They now go by they and she pronouns. Really amazing strong protagonist trying to figure out how to navigate the world when monsters have been extinct, and then there's a angel that comes back. So very interesting dynamic. Jam is such an amazing protagonist and their strength of character is amazing. Alrighty, and the next recommendation I have is The Black Tides of Heaven by Neon Yang. I'm covering their old name. I have the older copies, so it hasn't been updated with their name to support their pronoun. In this, Makoya and Akia don't have to pick, our protagonists don't have to pick their genders until like later on down the track, and even then they can fluctuate between them. They don't have to have it set in stone, and I think that's a really interesting portrayal of gender and gender fluidity, and I think it was done exceptionally well in this. I know that there's a rebellion and one receives a prophetic gift. Other protagonists could see the strings that moved people into action, so could then influence what decisions they're going to make and how they're going to go about it. Really, really interesting. I struggle to articulate this in its complexity, but it's bloody brilliant and I would highly recommend picking it up. Neon Yang is a wonderful author and I think they need more hype on the BookTube sphere. And then the one I haven't read, which I'm shameful of, is Felix Ever After by Caitlyn Calendar. Felix is our Black, queer and transgender teen, and they are a massively strong protagonist when they are threatened with being dead named and things like that, and taking it upon themselves to sort of sort out that situation. So I think this will be a really interesting read and it's been highly recommended all throughout BookTube. So yeah, I feel pretty confident in recommending this one as a strong protagonist. And the final prompt that I have for some recommendations is Spanking, which is a book that's going to leave a mark. So you could double this up with the impact prompt from the first week if you felt so inclined. I'm sure there are plenty of others that you can double these up with. The first recommendation I have is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. Fucking amazing. Hit me right in the feelings, left a mark in both my anger for the justice system and being able to sympathize with fellow victims that have lost their voice and struggling to articulate to the wider society what the problem is. So yeah, this was such a powerful and strong book that it definitely left a mark, and I can't think of anything that I would recommend higher than this in terms of leaving a mark on your soul. Next is Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. So this is told in verse and literally takes the span of a minute to go down in an elevator. So this is looking at intergenerational trauma, gang violence, and making right choices for yourself. And yeah, I just think it was really, really fascinating, and it definitely left a mark in terms of how I think towards particular events, people, that sort of thing. So yeah, very powerful, very quick read, which is great for a readathon, but so poignant and beautiful. Trigger warning, this book is about abortions, so if this is not something that you can deal with, feel free to skip on. This is the last book for this recommendation video, and that is Choice Words, a collection of writing about abortion, edited by Louise Swin. So I know this is an Australian collection of so many different people, and it's writing about abortion. This treasury of stories highlight the sheer unspoken commonality of abortion. Women have been dealing with the risks and the fallouts for longer than there is record. It is poignant, wise, funny and true. A salute to those who have been working in the field, a celebration of how far we've come, and an electrifying call to all at how far we still have to go, and a clarion call to action. So I feel like this is definitely going to leave a mark. I don't really know much about the stories or essays. I haven't actually gone that far in. Fuck. Oh, this is gonna hurt. But yeah, I have a feeling that this is definitely going to leave a mark. One thing I want to clarify with Not Safe for Workathon, we've had quite a few new participants joining us this round, is that we are not trying to take the piss on any group. What my goal for this readathon was back in March of 2020 was to provide a humorous set of prompts for a bit of relief from the chaos that is in the world right now. And I don't want anyone to think that, you know, by putting the abortion book with spanking, that it is devaluing that topic and applicable to any and all. For me, I want to use Not Safe for Workathon both as an educational tool and a way of comedic relief. It is hard and it is a very fine line between those two things, but I think we do it pretty well. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that, like, if you feel insulted or that I have stepped over that line, please tell me. I do not want that to happen. I merely just put these because they fit best. For me, I want to use those prompts that are like impact, that are like spanking, to leave a mark, like bite mark, to sink my teeth into. I want to use those to educate myself. And I know that other people will find the humorous side of it and I can use it for what I want. And it's sort of similar. Not Safe for Workathon is meant for your interpretation, so do with it as you will, but please understand that I'm not trying to minimize anyone's experience, especially if you have gone through any form of trauma, any experience that is hard to deal with. My support is there, so please, yeah, let me know if we ever step over. But it is meant to be comedic and also educational at the same time, so fine line. I hope I've done okay, but I do think a lot about the choices that I'm doing, but I also want to educate people and show them different books and different ways of being able to utilize these prompts to fit things that you might not have thought of. So yeah, that's where I'm going with that. Sorry about that little tangent. I just wanted to put it out there. But like I said, I'm free for any DMs. If you think that I've done something wrong, like, hit me up. I'm more than happy to correct my behavior, and obviously apologize for it, because that is never my intention. I want this to be a humorous time in a way that doesn't belittle anyone's experiences. The whole reason I'm excited about this BDSM edition is because it's promoting the BDSM community in a positive light. It's not saying this is a bad thing. It's being like, let's enjoy this, let's celebrate it, let's have fun with this. And if you want to use it to go down serious routes, go for it. I think that's fantastic. It's great to be educating ourselves. But if you just want to do light and fluffy, feel free to do light and fluffy. Like, this readathon is yours as much as it is mine. Let's go with domme. Let me know in the comments what strong protagonist you think of and or want to pick up throughout the months of September, and let me know if you have decided to participate or not. I will leave a link to the announcement and all the Not Safe for Workathon goodies in the description, as I said. And yeah, the code word for today is I. Literally the letter I, not this I. The letter I is your code word for today. If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of this mess, I'm making a video every day in the month of August, so feel free to subscribe to be able to see all of those. And I'll hopefully see you in my next video, which will be tomorrow. Bye!